Hello, explorers, and welcome back. I am Leonidas, and this is Stationeers. Welcome back. This is episode 6 of my Moon series, For Newbies by a Newbie. Yep, that's right. We're just playing through the Moon series. This is designed for new players who may not be familiar with the game, looking for how things work and I don't know, just watching me do stuff. So here we are. I am not an expert. I do not know all the tips and tricks. I do a lot of just what works for me, and I have gotten some really helpful tips from people that I will implement later. Right now, we're still starting out. So in this episode, we are going to finish out our airlock, and we are going to enclose our HAB, H-A-B, and yeah, let's get it going. So here we are. Here's a basic quick recap of where we are. We have our solar panel, the one that will follow the sun as it moves through the horizon, maximizing our energy into our station battery that we put in there. Last time we went through and we programmed using logic circuits the ability for that to turn. We've gotten ourselves here a hydraulic pipe bender, an electronics printer. We've got our furnace up and going, our auto lathe, and everything's good to go. So now what we need to do is we need to get a place where we can enclose and we can start breathing, taking our suit off, taking our helmet off, breathing the air. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show 2 different methods that you can use to make an airlock. I will do one with the equipment that we are given. I will do another one later with my method, how I like to do it, and I'll show you the difference. And then we're just going to close this guy up. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start by closing this up. So what I need are a bunch of walls. And what I actually... let me think through this. Normally, what I would do is I would have doors here that go that way, and one out there, and then this would be a hallway that's going to be open. For now, for our basic purposes, we are going to enclose this and not add the doors. So, of course, what I need to accomplish all that are my walls, my iron walls. And as I'm looking through this, what I want to do is pull all my stuff inside. Do I care? Not particularly. Okay, no, we're not. We're gonna leave it. Okay, we'll max it on our walls. And the way that I like to do it, again, the way I set these up for what's going to be our airlock, I like the X's on the inside and then the little patchwork iron sheets on the outside. It's just aesthetics. That's really all it is. So I'm gonna put, and the way to get that done, if you like that look, is to have the cube on the outside. Okay, so this is going to be one wall. I'll set these up real quick, and then we press C to rotate it. Do these walls. C again. Set up these guys. And C one more time. Of course, we're not going to close up our airlock. We're going to put a door there. All right. And then we right-click again, and we're going to now press C until we have one on the bottom. This will be our roof. I already have some there from when we put our solar panels. These in like so. Excellent. Now we need to do is seal them up. So we'll go put our walls back. And we're going to need 1 iron sheet for each of these. So actually I can combine, should be able to combine those. Iron, plastic sheets, iron sheets. Okay, so let's get moving here. And it's very simple. Left mouse. We'll place all these so we see those X's on the inside. And it's not, there we go. Okay, so if you point at the solar panel, it won't let you do it. You have to kind of point at the edge of where the, well, wall/ceiling would be. Am I going to be short? Yes, a few short. Okay, so let's go build more. Make sure I don't have any extras anywhere. I don't see any in my inventory. Nope, I don't see any. So we'll head over to our, auto lathe, kick it on. Search for iron. I don't even know if I have any iron. I haven't played this in a while. And I have a little bit. Perfect. So we will actually use... Well, we only needed, what, 3? We need, let's see, 4, 5... Yeah, I guess just 5 will do it, although I printed way more than that, so... Alright. Turn it off, save the lights, and... I'm just taking a look at my battery. See where it's at. And close up our airlock, because we're going to need to do that later, so we may as well. And there we go. Okay, so these are airtight. When you set down iron frames, the first time, well, I can show you the difference. All right, when we come over here, this is an iron frame with nothing added to it. No iron sheets added to it. You fall right through, right when you step in. Okay, it's just the frame only. When you add one iron sheet to it, it gets this X, and you can walk on it. It's as though it's a hard surface. But if you want it to be airtight, I keep over jumping. You need to do it a second time with your welder, and when it has this gray bottom, it's airtight. For iron sheets, or excuse me, iron walls. Oh, I did not mean to jump on that. Struggling. There's only one build stage. Once it's enclosed like this, you are airtight. So we're good. Now, okay. Should we flip out our... Yep, may as well. We've got our batteries up and going. So let's open up... It's already open. Let's swap this guy out here. Okay, get that... although it's probably past the point where it can charge. That's all right. And I should really charge this guy. I feel like I'm missing some batteries. Okay, I'm going to pause this. Oh, why are you on? Burning electricity. I'm going to pause this and see if I can find extra batteries. I'll be right back. We are back and still without batteries. I couldn't find any extras. There are some in kits that you can unpack and use, but I'm not going to do that now. So that's okay. We will one day want to charge or get some more, especially small batteries, so that we can put them in there. But for right now, let's... we need our airlock crate. Case. What's this thing called? Hang on. Our... I forget what this is called. Anyway, this has everything we need in for an airlock. We're just going to pull the whole thing with us. So, again, it's a little unwieldy. Sometimes it's easy to go backward, but you also need to see where you're going. So, try not to knock anything over. Oh, a couple stray coils flew out, probably from when it was producing them. And I don't know where my coils are. We'll put this here. We'll need coils. We're going to need a lot of coils. A good number. So, copper. That probably needs to go. Is I going to build something in the lathe? I don't think so. Should we just... Yeah. We're going to need copper for sure. So let's just get that going. Okay. Open up our airlock supplies. You have a number of things in here that we're going to need. The first is an active vent and a passive vent here. The active vent is powered, and it can either suck air out of a room or push it into a room. It's much, much, much more effective to pull it out than it is to push it in. Just as a side note. This is our console. This is the brain, the computer that's going to run the airlock. Our door kit. There's 2 of them because we need 2 doors for an airlock. Right, 1 in, 1 out. The chip, the computer chip that we put inside the console to make it all run. The network analyzer we don't need. We need a sensor, like gas sensor, more on that shortly, and a data disk to program our console. So let's start grabbing these supplies. The first one we'll take are the door kits. And there's different door types. There's a glass door. There is, and these slide left and right. Whoops, I see, I didn't mean to. As we mouse wheel, composite door, which is similar to the glass door, except for the only part, look right here. that is the only window that you can see through is right there. The door on the right side of the door is whatever you name it. It'll have words on there. Then you have a composite roll cover. More on that another day. Manual hatch. This is just a metal hatch that you manually open and close. It is not electric, not automatic. And then you can have one for the floor also. What we're going to use is actually a composite door. And the reason for that is because some of these cannot pass wires through the bottom sides. The manual hatch is the best for that. The next best is the composite door. So we're going to put our composite door here, but notice how at the bottom I have my connection for power and for data, but not on this side. It's only one-sided, and you want those connections on the inside. It's pretty important. It's important in case your power goes out, actually. So there's the one. If I turn around there, that's not going to work, so I need to press C to rotate it. Back up a little bit, and now my connections will be pointed inside. That's why I ran this wire here, anticipating that needing to be hooked up. So if you want to bring your crates inside, it is much better to do it before you've installed the doors. Getting those through the doors is a pain. It's easier backward, but it's a tight squeeze. So just keep that in mind. Now we are going to leave these in this current state. We're not going to adjust those yet. So now we're going to grab our active vent. And what this is going to do is when we are exiting, right? In here is going to be breathable air. We're going to take off our helmet. We're going to relax. We're going to enjoy the nice spa day. And then when it's time to leave, this door will be open. Wherever you are, the door should be open facing you. So the door's open. We walk through. The door's closed here. To go out, right? You can only have one door open at a time. When this door closes, all this breathable air that's inside here with us will whoosh out. Unless we set up a vent. And what this vent does, where do I want to put you? You always end up being a problem. So let's actually put you at the bottom, right here. So what this vent does is when you're in here and this door closes behind you, shunk, this will flick on automatically. It'll draw all the air out and push it back in here so you're not wasting it. And then when you, well, more about what happens when you come back in. So this is the inlet. This is we'll draw the air out. Let's grab our passive vent because we need a place for it to go out. So that it goes in through the active vent, out through the passive. Yes, you could draw it in, but that's for another day. To connect those two, we need our yellow kit pipes. And the easiest way, well, do like this. So I right click, I mouse down because I need the curved one. I want it curving outside. I want another curving like that. They're going to go toward each other. Now if we go outside, ladder, I love you, but sometimes you're a pain. So these are the two sides. We need to connect these. So we keeping the corner, going for, whoops, yellow, yellow, and now they're connected. There's lots of different ways to do that, but I like the shortest, using the least amount of pipe. Let's go put this guy back. Right there. Oh, put our copper. We can turn you off. And now we need our console. And it's good to have him right in the middle. Where he goes doesn't necessarily matter. I'm just putting him here because it'll use less wires. This is this spot for the data disk. This turns it on and off, and then underneath is where a power connection is. We're going to need a bunch of wires. So I may as well just start a coil wires. So let's just start making those now. Do I have any copper? Sure don't. Good thing we got 50. We will plop it in there, and let's just let it rip. And go. Now, we need our computer chip. Nope. Yep. Put you in there. To cover this up, we need a glass pane. Ta-da. For both methods of the airlock that I'm going to show you, all of this equipment stays the same. The second one just has some additional pieces to it. I think that's probably good for now. See how when it gets full, it flings them all over? There's ways to take care of that, but that's how those other ones ended up way over there. Okay, good. Now, So let's begin. Actually, no, we need one more. We need our gas sensor. Our gas sensor, again, for the purpose of just using less wires, we're going to set them right here. There's a bunch of different sensors. Daylight sensor, right, which is what we use for our solar panels. Motion sensor that you can use to program so that when you walk into a room, it does something, such as turn on lights. A gas sensor will detect things such as pressure, temperature. Occupancy sensor, if you walk into a room, it's like a motion sensor, except for it just detects when you're there or not, as opposed to standing still or throwing something past it to activate it. Proximity sensor, that's kind of self-explanatory, and we're back to the beginning. So what we want is a gas sensor. We'll place them right there. And now we start wiring. So, actually, as I'm thinking through this, I've changed my mind. No, it's fine. We'll keep it. Okay, let's go. So we grab our, let's open up our tool belt, holding Alt to get my cursor. Open up my tool belt, grab my wire cutter so I can splice in all these little, wires. And we're going to curve them off this way. Bring them down. And we're going to curve up to the console. While I've got this, I'll also connect that one and that one there. Go back to making them straight. There we are. Now we need to, I know we're going to need to hook in this guy. I will show you how you can anticipate it here. The other one I won't do this, but let's actually go like, I've already passed the direction I want. We'll go this way. And we need one here. Yeah, it's yellow. Yellow, yellow. It knows where the connection is going to be, even though it's not drawn there yet. Okay. Okay, so we've connected those together. I could also connect this side. The reason for that is in case you ever pop a... you put too much draw through your coils, and one... You blow a... Well, the lack of a fuse, right? You blow a coil, and it disconnects. If it disconnects there, if this one stays intact... electricity will still go through, so I will go ahead and do that just in case. And I'm out of coils. Well, actually, I have a bunch right here. I don't know why I didn't notice those, but I will probably still need more. That's okay. Time saving will go with it. And yeah, let's call that good for now, actually. Okay, put our wire cutters back. And there we are. Essentially, we are ready to go. If I click this on, it's going to give us an error. Well, because we don't have anything set up. So, let's turn you off. Let's go ahead and start building out our door. Doors. So, if we grab something random like a crowbar, it's going to tell us I need a welding torch and a plastic sheet. Okay, so let's do that. Let's grab our plastic sheets that I saw over here. And because the doors build the exact same, I'm just going to do the same thing for both. On. Make sure, so whenever you use your welding torch, it creates pollutants. And you don't want pollutants in where you are going to take your helmet off and things. You do have a portable air purifier that you can place in here. They don't fit through these doors. So once you've used it, you can't really take it outside to vent it. So once it's used up, it's used up. You may want to leave one of these open to help vent this out. And what I mean by that is, if I go just like this, or even right here, you can open one of these. No, don't destruct the solar panel. Okay, see how I almost destructed the solar panel as opposed to the wall, the ceiling. Make sure you click on the right thing. Okay, this will help vent everything out. So we'll do that for now. We'll put it back shortly. Okay, so next, what I need, it'll tell me is, no. I need a crowbar and a glass sheet. Oh, we got some of those. Let's grab a glass sheet. Select our crowbar. And ta-da, we're done. That's it. This one's powered, so I can click the button it'll open. This one is not, because obviously I haven't connected it. I click this and nothing happens. I can use my crowbar and actually force it open. I can also force it closed if I hold the button down long enough. A note on these: if the power ever goes out and it's connected to the console, this will lock. It'll say it's disabled and it's bolted shut and you can't do anything about it. There's no way to open it. Cut the cables to get it out. Just turning this off is not enough. You have to cut the cable, disconnect it from the console to be able to force them open. It's kind of annoying, but let's force that open. And okay, we will continue on our way. Now what we need is our labeler. And, oh, fortunately I have it right here in my jetpack. So we need to label things because in here we have to select what things are called. Eventually you're going to have a lot of airlocks, you're going to have a lot of vents. And if they're connected to the same loop of electricity, of wires, of coils, then you're going to see a big long list. So there's a couple ways to do this. One, you isolate the cable coils. The other is just in naming. So this is my main door. So I'm going to call this my main interior. Use the terms interior and exterior. The way that I use exterior is it's always toward the exit. So for example, if I were to, let me go outside to demonstrate this. Here where I'm going to have my hydroponics, I'm going to have a door here, and this will be replaced by a door. This is going to be the interior because it's farther away from the exit, and this is going to be the exterior because it's toward the exit. That's just how I remember my naming scheme. You do it however you want, but just remember what it's called. So we've named this the main interior. See how it says in the little info tool? This, we're going to call it the main. Whoops. Don't know what I did there. Try this again. Main exterior. And now, if I actually force this closed. So now that we have named this, if I force it closed, like this, check out the name. Oh, I guess I could also push the button. I don't need to force it closed. Main interior and main exterior. Whatever you name this, that's what it's going to show up as, which is kind of cool. So let's go ahead and open this up. And we have these named. Excellent. Let's connect our... Actually, is this on or off? I think it's... Okay, it's off. We need our... There we go. Okay, let's take this and put it right like... Oh, come on. Connected and connected. There we go. Okay, now we're powered. We're all good to go. We need to name this guy. This won't be as important here. Again, if you build out more later, it will become a little more essential. For now, we're just going to call this, it's our main, and this is going to be interior active. We don't need to name this guy, he's not powered. I'm going to explain why we need to name that later. This is our main gas sensor. Okay, so now we've labeled our 4 things. Door 1, door 2, our active vent, and our gas sensor. And eventually, even the consoles show up. So if you want to label this as just the main airlock, you can. It's not necessary, but you can. And as you play the game longer, you'll see why that matters. Okay, so now we grab our data disk. And if I look here and flip him on, he still gives me an error. Everything's connected, but now I need to program it. And that's where our friend, the data disk, comes in. So I slip him in the side, and now I need to do some setups. And if you notice, there are... Can I scroll? Yeah, a little bit. So I need to select 4 things. If there are lights, you can select lights, but everything that you have connected on your network, wherever it is in the base, all of them will show up. They are all in here. And this is why we name it the way we do. So notice I have the main exterior and main interior. Those are the doors. You can put door on it if you want. Because if you just said main interior, right? One's the active vent, one's the door. You wouldn't really know, other than this says the word vent. So be as descriptive as you want, whatever you need to help you out. So I need my interior to be interior. Well, that's wrong. So I don't want to confirm that. But my main exterior and exterior, yep, that one we can confirm. And when I do that, this automatically switches because it's smart enough to go, okay, well, if that's our exterior, red meaning we've locked that in, And then I click interior to lock in exterior. If I need to undo it, I can. I just re-click it again to let me select it. Not that big of a deal. We only have one vent. We only have one sensor. Notice that our button stopped blinking, and now our door's closed. Right? I can take this out, and look, we have an airlock, folks. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and close this one up. Okay. And now, let me show you how this operates. This little disc, don't lose it. You can print another one in an electronics printer, but don't lose it. Keep it somewhere safe. So if I want to go out, oh, both doors are closed, which is kind of interesting. Usually I leave one open. If I want to go outside, pressurizing. Why are you... Okay. Okay, because it was set to the interior. When I go, so right now I'm inside, right? This would be full of breathable air along with this room, right? Because they're connected. If I want to go outside, are you blue? You are, but I'll swap you right now. If I want to go outside, I click this button that says cycle to exterior. That door closes. This vent kicks on and off to make sure that this is a vacuum, right? That it's pumped all the air back out. And then this door opens when it's ready. It's all automatic. And now I'm outside. And I can do my thing. Now, when I go inside, if I want to go into the interior, I can either click this again to cycle to the interior, or I can just click the keypad. Okay, it closes, and what it says is it's pressurizing. And if you notice, this guy's on, and what he's trying to do is pressurize this up to 101 kilopascals. Well, that's not going to happen. There's no air in there to do that. It will sit here, and this is actually on if we could hear it, and it's trying to draw any air in there to have this match. You don't need them to match. And it takes a really long time for reasons I don't want to explain right now. So if you're trying to go inside, just click cancel. And it opens. And now you can go in. And what will happen is when you're going to see when we've pressurized this, when we open this, it's just going to be a rush of air. It's going to all rush in. Anything that's in here might get blown back a little bit. It's fine. It doesn't hurt anything. That's just the method. So we didn't end up welding anything else. We'll close that up. And there you go. Now we need, do I want to, yep, I am going to demonstrate the other way to do it before we pressurize out there. So I need to print some new things. I need another active vent. I need another passive vent. And I need a different chip. Those are the 3 extra things that I need to make an advanced airlock. So let's click this. We'll just click the keypad to cycle out. Right, that one closes. You'll see this flick on and off. Maybe nope. I guess it recognized through this guy that there was no. We're still in a vacuum, so it didn't do it. So I turn my electronics printer on, and I'm looking for Advanced Airlock Chip. Oh, of course I need iron. Let's see who has iron. Nothing. You have a little bit. I will steal what you have. Give it to me. Nope. Steel, copper, one more. Okay, just so we don't lose these, I'll put them back in. Steel. Okay, grab our little bit of iron, turn you off. Oops, right here, and we're going to get this printing. It's pretty quick. Our sideways arrow to make sure we don't print more than one. Waste materials, like I've done over here already. Okay, grab our chip, turn this guy off. Now I need my, oh look, we're up to 2 bars. How about that? Let's save our data disk. Where's my green? There you are. Set them right here. Now I need another active vent and passive vent. We get those from our pipe bender. And just type in the word vent. And we need all sorts of things, okay? We need all the things. So let's just pop this open. Okay, we'll grab this guy. Turn him off. What was the other thing I needed? I guess I could have selected it. Vent. Gold. Okay, so grab our gold. And iron. Okay, we should have everything yep, we do. Let's build our active vent. Sideways to make sure we don't build another one. This should be fairly quick. Okay, and now I need a passive vent. So we type in vent again, passive, build, sideways. Now this guy, we have one going inside. Now we need one outside. This design is meant for a world this setup works well for a world that has an atmosphere outside, like Mars. Where Mars has an atmosphere, but it's got pollutants in it. You can't really breathe the air that well. Because if there's air out here, some kind of an atmosphere, even if it's low, and I come in here and it's got pollutants and volatiles and things, and I cycle my airlock, all this air, this bad air, is going to be added inside my hab where I don't want it. Because that's what this guy does. All he does is take whatever air is in here and tosses it back in there, so we don't lose any air from that hab. That's all this current setup does. By adding this second one, this makes sure that whatever air is on this side stays on this side, whatever air is on that side stays on that side. Okay, that's what an advanced airlock does. Now, this, because of where it's located, because I'm just venting it to the outside, it's not actually going to vent anything, by the way. I don't even technically need to do this part, but I am to show you. The way that I oriented him, actually, let's do him closer to the ground. Let's put you there. We'll grab our drill. He's going to fall to the ground because I don't have an empty hand. And just to save wires, put him there. Now notice that his connection to the other active vent is right there on top, just like his. But because the vent is going to go outside, I don't need pipes. I can if I want, but the cool thing is with this passive vent, if I just push C, I can connect straight to it. And if I look in here, it's just a straight connection. Pretty neat, right? So now, well, let's put you on the ground. We will connect wire in our, yeah, sure. Okay, so now we're connected, we're wired in there. Put this back, put that back, grab our labeler, and we're gonna call this is our main, right, our main airlock, exterior active vent. We still want to label it, yes. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rip this thing apart. Grab our crowbar, pull off our glass. We're gonna rip out this guy. And we're going to grab this guy and put it in. This is our advanced airlock, regular airlock. We put the glass back on. Oh, error in configuration. Let me show you why. Grab our friend, the data disk that we put away so we wouldn't lose it. Oh, wrong. Oh, yeah, I don't need you anymore. Save that electricity. Okay, so now look. What we can do here is we can actually change and set our internal and external pressures. I like to set these to 0, especially when we're in a vacuum. What this means is it will take whatever air is inside here, wherever you just left, it's going to push the air back out. So if I set this to 100, what's going to end up happening actually, or maybe it's internal to 100, when I want to go in, it's going to try and draw in air from there until I'm at 101 pascals or whatever this number is set to before it lets me in. This little vent is way underpowered and it would take a really long time. So I don't do that. I set it to 0. And then obviously going outside, we set it to 0 also. So the easiest thing for me is just set these two to 0. Now, look at how many other things I have to select, that I need to select. So the first one is my main exterior active vent, right? Exterior, lock it in. Exterior door, right? So let's lock it in. The main interior door, I just don't have the word door, so I click on it to lock it in. My main interior active, yep, and then the gas sensor, and voila. We are green, we are good to go. We pull this out, and here we are. Put this data back. Now, you might ask, okay, well, if we don't have a vacuum and I don't really care about this air that's not actually here being out here, why even go through the extra hassle and resource to do this? The reason is because I'm lazy. Let me show you. Now that I click this, remember, normally when I click this, it's going to try and pressure it from through this vent here, and I have to wait for it or click cancel. Watch. Ta-da! Pretty cool, right? And if I want to go out, there's no more pressing cancel. That's really all this did. Was I just don't have to press cancel because it's not going to try and fill this to 101 kilopascals. The other one, you didn't have the option to change it. It's not advanced enough. So you couldn't set the pressure setting. So this guy we actually don't need anymore. I guess we could use for another airlock another day. We'll just set him over there. But there you go. Airlock complete. Now, last part of this video, I said we were going to get us some pressurized air. So let's go do that. We are going to be mining, so let's make sure our beacon is on. And we will close, see, it's for 6 for our mining belt. Oh, we don't actually need to. We have Oxite. Never mind. Turn you off. Let's head into our HAB. And this is a lot easier if you have air in your waste tank. I'm going to demonstrate why. So inside, what I have here is Oxite. Let's look at what makes up Oxite. F1, and we type in the word Oxite. We click it, and it gives us information. Great. What it has is oxygen and nitrogen. On Earth, we have nitrogen and oxygen and some other things in our natural air that we breathe. You are fine to breathe oxygen. It won't help you breathe, but it doesn't hurt you. You just need a certain amount of oxygen in the air, but that's for another day. So you can use Oxite to create an atmosphere on the moon. And that's what we're going to do. This is ice, so if we throw it out, oh, it's not melting. Why isn't it melting? Without going into science and physicsy nerd stuff, it's because there's no atmosphere in here. And there's no heat source. There's no sun beating down on it. So we have to create an atmosphere. The easiest way to do it is get right up next to it, open up this waste tank, or click on that waste tank and open. And now watch. See how the number's going down? It's melting. It's adding air to our room. And now it melted all the way. Check out our pressure. It went down because the air moves throughout. But look, we have 9 kilopascals. We need more. But that's a good start. Cool, right? So let's go get more. Let's cycle to the exterior. We want to go to the exterior now. So we click that. Watch our little sensor, right? It pushed it all back out. Made sure that we're at 0. There wasn't actually any air in there, so I don't know why it's doing that. But might have just been for effect. I don't know. Anyway, okay, now we are really going to go mine Oxite because we need more. So I thought, oh, that's nitrice. Okay, that's fine. We're looking for the blue rock. I will do this with you guys. Silicone. Deep craters. So that you guys can see. Actually, I will go find it, and then I'll cut back once I find it. Good grief. It took me a long time to find some Oxite. I found cobalt before I found Oxite. And now, of course, I see another one over there. And it's also, oh yeah, that was some over there that I walked past. It's easier when the sun's up, but yeah, in the dark it was hard to find. So anyway, this is what Oxite looks like, kind of this bluish sheen. If it's white, it's probably water ice. If it's that kind of greenish color and more kind of flat and sharp, that is nitrice, which has nitrogen and nitrous oxide in it. Not what we want. So those are the kind of, and volatiles is the pink ice. Over there, so not what we want. So let's click this guy on, and we're gonna grab a decent amount, especially because it was so hard to find. Holy smokes. And once I mine this, we will head back to, actually this is probably good. Well, I'll head back and see you guys there. And as a reminder, to find your way back, we need the, oops. This one out. We need the tracker chip, and you turn it on and it'll point you to our base because we've turned on our little beacon. By the way, there's nitrice. See, it has that green, and it glows green in the sun. From this side, that's usually what you see, is that kind of the palish color. But anyway, okay, back. Oh, here we go. All right, we're back at our base. I printed another large battery cell. Just grab the resources to do it. And tossed it in there. It's been charged for a little bit. So here we are. We can cycle either way. I guess we'll click the keypad. Door closes. Make sure it has 0. And then you see this rushing in of air. And we'll have 9 kilopascals. Also, I can't remember if I said this before, but you can only hear things in atmosphere. Sound does not travel in a vacuum. Whoops, I am all over the place. I'm looking for 6. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, you'd hear all these things, the air whooshing, the door moving, and once we have atmosphere, you will hear that. So we have a little bit of atmosphere in here now. Let's toss out our ice. And you just need it above 27, technically. So I think 30 is a good number. Okay, we need more. So this one we're going to put in our hand. If you hold it in your hand, do the same thing. You can kind of walk around, help spread out the air, but it'll melt. You can see the number going down. The bigger the room is, obviously the more it takes to raise the pressure. So I put it back in there whenever it's in a mining belt or like an ice crush or something it won't drop. Okay, do you hear that? Listen, you hear that beeping? There it was. There it is again. It's this guy. The reason we can hear him now is because we have atmosphere. And if I cycle my airlock, you hear it? You hear this guy, right? He's pulling all the air out. Watch the pressure drop. Once it's at 0, this opens. Okay, maybe I guess there's a trace amount that's exiting. That's usually what those lines mean. But, okay, we will flip it back. We didn't hear it close because there's no atmosphere. Right, now that got louder because now we hear. Okay, so now we can open up our suit. And this is neat. One drawback that you're going to see, this is how dark it's going to be. Just so you know. So we could use a light. How do I... We can print... Yeah, let's go print a flashlight. This will be the last thing in the video. Oh, and we have a spare battery for it. How about that? Okay, turn off our light. Normally when I run around my base, I use a flashlight when I'm just running around doing this. So let's turn this on. I guess there's 2 we could do. Yeah, we're going to set up this one for now. And then in the next episode, we're going to get some quality of life changes and set up our food, our food source. I think I put everything over here, right? Yep. Okay, I already forgot what I needed. I think it was gold and copper. What it was? Flashlight. Oops. Gold and copper. Yep. Gold or copper, gold. Okay. Let's build one. They do not come with a battery when you build them. I'll be right back when this is finished. Okay, it's finished. I turned off my little printer. We'll grab this here, and we need a battery. So, fortunately, we have that extra battery that we made earlier, remember? Yeah, so we grab this guy, put him in here. And now, let me show you how this works. Like, well, he's already on. I know because I turned my light off. Right, with L. Okay, so if I right-click him, it turns it on. And because I've hit the R menu, if I set high power, pretty neat, right? It's pretty bright. The battery drains really fast on this guy. And even if you switch hands, he'll stay on. You can drop him. Whoops, switch hands again, drop him. The light stays on. If you put him in your suit somewhere, he won't. I mean, he stays on and it's draining the battery, but you're not getting any light from it. So just keep that in mind. And other options are available later. But let's go ahead and head in. Pressurize, in we go. Now you're going to see why I'm going to leave this on. So right now we can open our helmet. To open our helmet, we need to press 1. And notice our helmet is locked. I like to leave mine locked because if you accidentally hit the I key, it will open your face mask. If you do that outside, bad things happen. So if I click open, nothing happens. If I click I, nothing happens. So I hold Alt, I click unlock. You'll hear it click. It is now unlocked. I press I to open. We see the little animation. And I'm now breathing the atmosphere. I don't need my filter on anymore, so I can turn that off. I don't need my air on anymore, so I can turn that off. I actually don't even need my helmet on, so let's just toss it. Now, if we did not have our flashlight, whoops, didn't mean to throw them. Just wanted to turn them off. Put our helmet on. Okay, we hit L. Sweet, light. Check that out. Cool. If I take off my suit, throw it down, the light goes out. If I take off, and that is because my suit has the battery. If I take off my helmet, well, it actually shone for a second, but it's the one that has the light on it. So you take either of those off, you don't have the light, and again, it gets really dark in here. So now we have light, we can walk around. Hey, look at that. All we're wearing now is a jetpack. Well, let's... Can you see? Not really. Yeah, kinda. If I stand under the light of the door, see how I have my jetpack on and my uniform, and that's about it. You'll notice that my hygiene is increasing and so is my mood. As you wear this, you kind of get stinky, I guess, and you just need your hygiene goes up or down. It doesn't really say how. I don't know of a place to look to know what your level your hygiene's at. It just goes no icon, yellow, and then red, and then as this goes lower, your mood decreases. As you keep your helmet on and stuff, your mood decreases. If you eat food that you don't really like, your mood decreases. If you there's a number of things that make your mood decrease. Right now it's increasing because I'm in a room and I don't have my suit on. As far as I know, the only downside to having a bad mood is you get hungry faster. You burn through food. So yeah. There you go. We now are breathing on the moon without a spacesuit. How cool is that, huh, guys? You can kind of see through the window. If I turn my light off, you can see the sun's coming up. It's glaring through it right now. But it is still very dark. Hence the flashlight. Look, we've already burned through 5% of a large battery. If this was a small one, it goes through pretty quick. But I like having flashlights partly for this reason. So there we go. We're going to leave it here. And again, to recap, all we did was we enclosed our room. We showed two different ways to build a airlock. The benefit of the first one is you have all the starting materials that you need. The drawback is you have to click cancel as it tries to pressurize. The other way, the second method is the one we're using now, the advanced method. It requires you to build an extra passive vent, an extra active vent, and a new advanced airlock chip. So extra resources. We had to label everything. We had to select them and program our airlock here. And then we went and got some Oxite, dropped it in here, opened up our waste tank to create an atmosphere, melted the ice, and we now have a breathable atmosphere. And if we take a look at what we are, whoops, press R, and we swap our atmospheric analyzer for our tracker and right click to turn on, you'll see we have 116 moles of oxygen, which is 88%. We have nitrogen and CO2. The CO2 came from opening our waste tank, and we're also breathing it out, exhaling it right now. The temperature, we're okay, even though it's near freezing, we don't seem to mind. And eventually it'll get hot. It can get hot in here as you add electronics, lights, things like that. If you have windows and the sun beats through, it'll heat it up, and then you got to go through cooling. We're going to set all that up for the hydroponics. But yeah, so look at our little room. Look at us doing stuff, right? So there you go, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is episode 6. This is Stationeers. I'm Leonidas, and I will see you again soon.